Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have officially made it to the start of basketball season at every level, as obviously the NBA season has been underway for almost 2 weeks now, but the college basketball tip-off has also arrived, kicking off on November 3rd. Obviously, not every top prospect comes from the college game, especially nowadays with so much international talent rising through the ranks, but a large majority still does, so I figured the college basketball season opener was the perfect time to put out our first mock draft installment of the new year. Every season I put out one mock draft per month in order to stay up to date on the progression or regression of the top prospects, so come along for the ride and stay tuned for all of the future installments leading up to the main event. Before we start though, it turns out a good amount of you watching right now aren't even subscribed to the channel, so if you enjoy the content, consider hitting the subscribe button, as not only does it help out a ton, but it also very much appreciated. Now with that being said, let's begin. Starting with the first pick in the draft, the Brooklyn Nets select Cameron Boozer from Duke. I'll start off by saying that this draft class genuinely has 3 players that all have incredibly solid arguments to be selected number 1 overall, and from what I've seen from them, they are all the type of prospect that can change the trajectory of an NBA franchise immediately. So it's splitting hairs between them to decide who goes first, second, and third. I think Cam Boozer is coming into the year with a ton of momentum building in the preseason, which included a 24-point, 23-rebound, 6-assist game against Tennessee, which is pretty absurd. He is a ridiculous combination of pure strength with a quick first step and footwork to abuse any defender you throw at him. He's a capable floor spacer. He lets the game come to him and facilitates when necessary, and obviously, as you saw in that stat line, he absorbs rebounds like it's nothing. Right now on BetOnline, his odds of going number 1 in the draft are plus 350, so if you agree that he could end up at the top of the class, now is the time to take advantage before that line shifts. Next, with the second pick, the Atlanta Hawks, who own the Pelicans pick, select Darryn Peterson from Kansas. Peterson might be the best guard prospect we've seen this decade, and I don't say that lightly. He's a 6'6" guard that can serve as a lead ball handler. He gets wherever he wants on the floor with ease. He has one of the best pull-up jumpers from all 3 levels that I've seen from a player his age. He moves well without the ball too. He locks up on defense, and he will fill it up fast if you're not ready for him. In a preseason game against Louisville last week, he dropped 26 points, and 24 of them came in the first half alone. He does a tremendous job staying under control, he's an explosive athlete, and he competes as hard as anybody with one of the best motors I've seen from a prospect this early too. So while it may be premature to say this, I would fully expect him to be amongst the NBA's leading scorers in his prime. Next, with the third pick, the Indiana Pacers select Debansa from BYU. In most other draft classes, Debansa would be a lock to go number 1 overall. He just happens to be in the same draft class as 2 other players that the statement also applies to. He's 6'9" with a 7-foot wingspan. He's a comfortable shot creator who rises up over shot contests with ease and dominates in the mid-range. He's a physical driver who does very well through contact, and you guessed it, he is also already dominating the college game in preseason, dropping 30 points against Nebraska. He utilizes his jump stop well to get to his spots and throw defenders off balance, and he has already started to master the art of drawing fouls and getting to the free throw line. He's a capable 3-point shooter, but ideally I would like to see him improve there a bit, but that's just a nitpick at the end of the day, because he too will be a prize for any team landing a top 3 pick this season. Next, with the fourth pick, the Washington Wizards, who own the Suns pick, select Nate Ament from Tennessee. This is where the drop-off from the top tier of talent begins, and it's not even necessarily a slight towards Nate. It's just the reality of how good those top 3 guys are. Nate is a 6'9" wing player who already has terrific shooting tools and a knockdown jumper both off the catch and on the move. He uses his length to rise up and hit shots over defenders, he spaces the floor out to the 3-point line, and defensively, he's shown potential of being a highly versatile and switchable player that can be thrown at a ton of different matchups. His foot speed isn't the quickest, and I would like to see more from him as a ball handler to solidify himself as a top 5 pick this year, but coming in, he has the tools that NBA teams love to take a swing on. Next, with the 5th pick, the Toronto Raptors select Michael Brown Jr. from Louisville. Brown was a major standout at the U19 FIBA World Cup with Team USA this summer, and what makes him such an intriguing prospect is that he is a lead guard with good size at 6'5" and a silky smooth jumper. Brown controls the pace and the flow of the game very well. He operates a strong pick and roll game with the needed playmaking instincts to make the right reads, and he can even operate off the ball as a cutter who runs well off screens, and knocks down shots off the catch with deep range in his arsenal. Right now, he is a little bit lacking in the strength department, which may get exposed every now and then this season, but that can be added with time, as we see countless times with young players like this, and at 6'5", he's not someone who will be abused on defense due to his size at all. Next, with the 6th pick, the Memphis Grizzlies, who own the Wizards pick, select Tunde Yasfu from Baylor. Yasfu is a shooting guard that, I'll say it, looks eerily similar to Anthony Edwards in terms of physical profile and, honestly, play style. He's just more raw than Edwards was as a prospect. He's an explosive, high-motor player that provides non-stop energy as a slasher that can get to the basket and convert some explosive finishes. He's an impressive creator off the dribble, and even his shooting form looks eerily similar to Edwards too. He's just going to need to clean up the efficiency on both of those looks a bit more. At the Nike Hoop Summit, he dropped 24 points, showing off his entire arsenal of shot-making ability from all 3 levels, and he should be in for a huge year at Baylor to push for a top selection in 2026. Next, with the 7th pick, the Sacramento Kings select Caleb Wilson from North Carolina. Wilson is a high-profile athlete at the power forward position, standing at 6'10" with an NBA-ready body already. He's strong, he's fast, he's bouncy, and he makes his presence felt everywhere on the defensive end. He's a ferocious shot blocker who can also comfortably switch out onto the perimeter, and on offense, he feasts on paint touches that he'll look to dunk every time. Overall, his game is pretty raw, as he's not necessarily someone who will serve as a go-to scorer, but that doesn't mean he can't score in bunches within the natural flow of the offense, because in a preseason scrimmage against Debansa and BYU, he still scored 22 points. Next, with the 8th pick, the Memphis Grizzlies, who own the Magic's pick, select Jaden Quaintance from Kentucky. Jaden is an incredibly unique prospect as someone who managed to reclassify to play college basketball a year ahead of schedule last year, and he was the youngest player in college basketball last season when he was playing at Arizona State, and now after transferring to Kentucky, he's still one of the youngest players in the draft class, not turning 19 years old until July, yet he already has a season under his belt. He's a strong-bodied center with a ridiculous length, having a 7'5" long wingspan that he used to be one of the best shot blockers and turnover generators in the entirety of the country last year as a 17-year-old, and he should get even better this year. The downsides of his game come on the offensive end, still being a work in progress with his touch around the basket and overall decision-making, but his unreal upside as a rim protector and his tantalizing physical tools make him a high upside swing worth taking in the top 10 all day. Next, with the 9th pick, the Charlotte Hornets select Peat from Arizona. Peat is a strong-bodied forward with the pure power you rarely see from a first-year college player. He's dominated with Team USA at the lower ranks at FIBA World Cups, and what stands out is that he's incredibly skilled for a guy his size. He'll throw down some ferocious dunks, but he'll also operate out of the high post masterfully and threaten defenses with a nice mid-range jumper and a strong handle to get to the basket with. Next, with the 10th pick, the Dallas Mavericks select Dash Daniels from the NBL. Daniels is over in the NBL with Lopez, and yes, he is in fact the younger brother of Atlanta Hawks standout guard Dyson Daniels, who has become one of the NBA's best perimeter defenders. Dash Daniels actually profiles pretty similarly to his brother, as a 6'6" wing with strong defensive instincts, a poised understanding of how to make a winning impact without trying to do too much, and a competitive drive that pushes him to make winning plays. I wouldn't necessarily expect him to be as locked down as his brother, but Dash actually may possess more potential on the offensive end as a creator, and that possibility will definitely draw lottery attention if he can keep going at the rate that he's at. Next, with the 11th pick, the Minnesota Timberwolves select Braylon Mullins from Connecticut. Mullins is widely regarded as one of the best sharpshooting prospects in the class, and with that kind of skill set, he'll be able to find a role in any rotation. He shot 47% from 3 in high school, earning the Mr. Basketball award for Indiana, and now he's playing for Dan Hurley, who has produced countless NBA players over the last few years. He's much more than just a shooter too, attacking closeouts that overextend on him well, pulling up off 1 or 2 quick dribbles, utilizing a nice floater when he's in the paint, and the gravity that he provides draws attention no matter where he is on the floor. Next, with the 12th pick, the Boston Celtics select Chris Sak Jr. from Houston. Sak is being called the biggest wild card in the class at the top, with the size, athleticism, and mobility NBA teams love from a center, but he's still fairly inconsistent game to game. He's the type of prospect who will be discussed in regards to what he can do in theory, as opposed to what he is doing on a regular basis, which has hurt teams in the past, but these kind of prospects have also blossomed big time plenty of times. He contests shots, rebounds well, and has shown the ability to defend in space, the hallmark of a modern big man. He just has to bring that energy game to game all the time. Next, with the 13th pick, the Oklahoma City Thunder, who own the Clippers pick, select Braden Burries from Arizona. It wouldn't be a mock draft without the Thunder popping up in the lottery, ready to use one of the picks that they've accumulated from another team from one of the million trades they've made over the years, and 2026 will be no different. Burries is one of the best pure scorers in the class, expected to come in and give Arizona an instant injection of scoring from the jump. He's a confident shooter from all 3 levels, and he has the creation skills and natural shooting ability tailor-made for modern NBA offenses. And finally, with the last pick of the lottery, the Oklahoma City Thunder, who also own the Rockets pick, select Isaiah Harwell from Houston. Harwell will actually be teaming up with Sak at Houston, and projects to be a high-floor two-way wing that knows how to thrive in an off-ball role. At 6'6", he'll at minimum be a solid 3-and-D player that can guard the opposing team's best ball handler, and then knock down shots off the catch to keep the floor spaced. And he knows when to look for his own shot and when to make the extra pass, playing reliable team basketball. In Oklahoma City, they've got the leaders of their core sorted, so any newcomers will need to be able to thrive in a secondary role, which is why early on I like this fit quite a bit. And with that being said, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below what you think of the top prospects in 2026. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.